President Ramaphosa of South Africa recently met with President Trump. Some South Africans are satisfied with his performance, while others view it as a disgrace to the nation. One such critic was Julius Malema, the leader of the EFF and commander-in-chief. Mr. Malema found out that his name was mentioned during the meeting in an unpleasant manner, and he was not pleased. Malema, addressing his supporters out in Kwakwatsi Free State Manara Sports Ground, he strides confidently to the podium, facing a buzzing crowd that can sense the weight of the moment. Without hesitation, he delivers his words with piercing clarity and conviction. The nonsense that Trump did, he thunders, he would never do in my presence. He's saying, if I was there, things would have been different. Very different. Mr. Malema didn't just stop there. He had a lot more to say, especially about President Ramaphosa. He called him cowardly. Yes, you heard that right, cowardly, for not standing up to Trump, for not defending South Africa with enough fire. According to Malema, Ramaphosa was too polite, too diplomatic. One of Malema's big issues, Trump apparently kept saying farmers when he really meant white people. Facts. Why didn't Ramaphosa correct him? Why didn't he say, hey, Mr. Trump, hold up a second. Farmers come in all colors here. In fact, I'm a farmer. And guess what? I'm a black farmer. That's what Malema wanted to hear. A clear, direct pushback. But he says it didn't happen. Silence. Or at least not the right kind of noise. This connects to Malema's main theme, imperialism. He perceives it everywhere, lurking and threatening. I must say, I agree. The farmers Trump mentions are prolonging issues. They are very deceitful. Anyway, Julius Malema positions himself and the EFF as the true defenders of South Africa, the last line of defense against these powerful global forces. Yeah. It seems they have effectively subdued President Ramaphosa. He stated that the EFF is the only organization that imperialists despise. He is not exaggerating. They detest every part of him. He said he will never be intimidated by America. Strong words, fighting words. He's painting a picture of himself as the fearless warrior, the one who won't bow down. Not to anyone, especially not to Uncle Sam. And if he had been there, he would have set Trump straight. I would have answered everything Donald Trump wanted from us, Malema stated. That nonsense that Trump did in America, he will never do in my presence because I will confront him with facts. He also criticized officials in the White House meeting for gossiping about him. Now, according to Malema, things got even weirder in that meeting. Trump apparently had a very specific question for Ramaphosa. Why is Julius Malema not in jail? Just casually dropping that into conversation. Malema's take on this, he thinks Trump was basically asking, why isn't this guy, dealt with? Why aren't you killing this man who wants to kill white people? Then there's the whole land reform issue. Trump, according to reports, was pretty critical. He'd apparently seen a video clip of Malema discussing land reform in Parliament. The EFF says this clip was misused, taken out of context. But Trump reportedly used it as evidence. Evidence of what? He was specifically referring to white Afrikaner farmers and disregarding the impact on black individuals affected by crime and violence. But anyway, Trump doubled down on those completely unfounded claims of a white genocide in South Africa. A myth that just refuses to die, no matter how many times it's debunked. It's like a zombie argument, and the evidence didn't stop there. Malema claims Trump actually showed Ramaphosa a screenshot from a video from the Democratic Republic of Congo, the DRC, not even South Africa. Trump allegedly commented that these are all white farmers being buried while holding up a printout. Can you believe it? How embarrassing. These people seem to have no shame or soul. using a tragic event from a completely different country to make a point about South Africa. That's not just fake news, that's geographically confused news. Malema naturally had a strong rebuttal to all of this. Farmers do not only mean white people, he stated patiently, like explaining something very basic. There are black farmers and white farmers. Groundbreaking stuff, I know. He continued, why didn't he mention that the majority of murder victims in South Africa are black? There is no white genocide in South Africa. We do not have mass graves of white people here. He's essentially saying, guys, let's look at actual facts, please, for just a minute. But facts can be so inconvenient sometimes. Mr. Malema, those individuals only care about facts when they benefit them. We should all be aware of this by now. The drama didn't end with alleged misidentified videos. Mr. Malema also took aim at Ramaphosa for supposedly failing to defend South Africa's own judiciary, specifically the Constitutional Court. Trump had apparently called for Malema's arrest over his use of the controversial "Kill the Boer" chant, a chant the court had ruled on. Malema argued that Ramaphosa's silence, his failure to explain the court's position, was a dereliction of duty. By failing to defend the Constitutional Court, Malema declared, he failed to protect the Constitution. That's a heavy charge against a president. In his second term, Trump vocally criticized land reform, labeling it as land seizure. It's astounding that these individuals, who took control of Australia, the Americas, the Pacific Islands, and much of Africa, resulting in the destruction of countless families and the termination of millions, are now complaining about land seizure. It's demonic. In February 2025, the U.S. cut funding for HIV/AIDS programs in South Africa, a huge blow. This is why South Africa, other African nations, and the Caribbean need to strive for independence from external reliance. Recently, the U.S. granted refugee status to 49 white South Africans, citing racial discrimination, which Pretoria denies. So this meeting, it was like throwing gasoline on a smoldering fire. Diplomatic niceties were clearly on vacation. Meanwhile, back in South Africa, other political players were making moves. John Steenhuisen, leader of the Democratic Alliance, DA, was also at this meeting with Trump. This is another European petition. He told Trump quite openly that his party joined the Government of National Unity GNU to stop folks like the EFF and the Umkhonto we Sizwe party, basically saying we're here to keep the shall we say, elements out of power. So the internal South African political chess game was being played out on an international stage. Awkward family dinner vibes, but with global implications. So what's the fallout? Ramaphosa got some praise for staying calm during Trump's brutal diplomacy, but many, like Malema, saw it as weakness. Some analysts believe that this situation could ultimately strengthen the GNU, providing reassurance to people that there is a united front. However, I hope President Ramaphosa and other African leaders do not succumb to this illusion of unity. It is important not to be deceived by their divide and rule tactics. Others wonder if Malema, with all this, gains any real political capital. We cannot sell our loyalty to the highest bidder. It's time to take a stand against corruption and look out for one another. Each of you possesses the strength and capability to make a significant impact. Now is the moment for Africans to rise above religious divisions and petty tribal conflicts. Unite for the greater good and reclaim control of your destiny. Let us act with purpose and determination for a brighter future. Take a closer look at the ownership of the luxury hotels and prominent businesses in your country. It's striking to note that over 95% are not owned by Black individuals. Many of these establishments may present a diverse image, but in reality, some are using you merely as a figurehead. It's time to question who truly holds the reins and influence in our economy. If we truly believe that all men are created equal, then why do we fail to see that this is a critical issue that demands our attention? It is imperative that we restore order. Let us take action now to create a more just and equitable society.